All right, let's get started. So I'm Andrew. I'm Rice's Microsoft student partner, and they have me doing workshops every month. So I think twice a month we're going to do workshops like this. It's either me or someone else. I think Ahmed has hosted one. So anyway, today I'm going to talk about like data visualization using Twitter. And we're going to make like a live feed data visualization. So that means like whenever anyone tweets, it goes straight to our program, and then our software will like manipulate that data and figure out, oh, I should do something with this, or I should not do something with this. And now it's pretty interesting because Twitter is just like such a huge like wealth of data that we can get some really cool results from that. Alrighty, so I hope you all have processing. Are we good? Okay, cool. So I guess the first thing we should probably do is skip some of these pages. Get processing going. See how that works. So open up processing. And this is our IDE. It's pretty simple. It's Java, as you can see up in the corner here. So let's make a hello world thingy. So we need two functions, void setup, and we need a void draw. Okay. So in setup, all you have to do is write print hello world. Hooray. And then when you run it, hopefully it'll work. There we go. Okay, so yeah. You're in your first processing script. Congratulations. So let's get Twitter going then. So I hope you all have Twitter accounts. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to dev.twitter.com, I believe. So we're going to, actually not dev, apps.twitter.com. Sorry. And do you guys see this page? Not without all of this? Or I'm not sure. Are you seeing this page? Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to create new app in the corner. And then give it a name. Doesn't really matter. I'm going to call this Data Viz Workshop. And then a description, a website, google.com. It doesn't none of this really matters. It's just like filling in stuff for if you're actually making an app that matters, which ours does not particularly matter. So we're going to create the tour application. Hold on one sec. I think we may need a HTTP. No? Okay. Maybe let's write cool. All right, so we created an application. Everyone good? Okay, so using that, we need to go to keys and access tokens here. And so we're going to need some of these like strings of letters to get Twitter into our application. So let's regenerate a consumer key and secret. No, we need to create an access token. So we'll click this button to create an access token. And then hopefully we should have these things. And that will let us use Twitter in our app. Okay? So I think it's easier if we go here. Yeah, so yeah. So here are our strings that we need. Just keep this page handy. And then so Twitter's good. And now we need a library to get Twitter into Java. So I used the Twitter 4J. And now this is it's like an unofficial Java library, or unofficial Twitter library for Java. So here's the website. It's twitter4j.org. And so all you're going to want to do is just want to download it, wherever that is. download latest stable version. There we go. Oh, wow, that's really slow. OK. So while that's downloading, let's figure out what we want to do. For the download? Oh, man. So what's the issue? It's just not there. Oh crap. Okay. I will post it on the group or on the Facebook page, and then hopefully that'll resolve any issues. Let me open my Dropbox up. Public and this and this. There. Copy the link and Facebook. You think it's a Mac thing, or? No. Okay. Now the whole website won't load. So okay. Alrighty, so I'm gonna put it on the Facebook. Just a link to the download. Oh my God. Okay. Paste. Okay. There we go. And so now that we have that, we want to unzip it. And we're going to want to put it in our libraries folder once we create an application. So maybe let's do that. Maybe let's create an application. So I'm just going to start a new one here. File, save as, and then save it wherever you want. I'm going to call it dataviz. Yeah, what's up? I don't know. I don't know how, I haven't experimented with it too much. Okay. Anyway, so we have a new thing, a new project, and I'll put it in Dropbox too, so you guys can always just get it via the internet whenever, or if you get lost. Where's my public link? Oh, okay. So I need to copy public link. Sorry, this is a little bit of setup. Okay, cool. Oh, I'm not recording. Whoops. All right, better. Okay, so let's. All right, let's make our two main functions again. So we need to avoid setup and avoid draw. Okay, so setup is where you just put in all your all of your strings and stuff. I think that should be fine. Yeah. So let's do a static string auth consumer key, and that's going to be here. Let me make this big. Equals to that, and that'll be the first one of these OAuth settings in your OAuth tool on Twitter. So you just put that in the string. Oops, that's not the right one. Okay, copy that and paste. I don't know. Maybe I can't copy from here. There we go. Okay. Okay, and then you need another static string OAuth consumer secret. Copy that and paste it there. Static string access token, and that is here. Oh, you have to generate it first. So if you go back, it's under the Keys and Access Tokens tab, at the bottom there should be a button that says Generate Access Token. Got it? OK. So yeah, that'll be your access token. Just paste it in here. And lastly, you need a static string. I think it's access token secret. And that'll be this one. Awesome. And the rest of these settings don't really matter too much. So let's see, what's next? OK, so now let's, we should probably import the libraries into our app. So open up your folder. How does this work? I think you need a, here, you can just, so if you open up the archive for Twitter 4J, you can just drag the lib folder into your project folder, like that. And then you should have all of these jars inside your project folder. And then once you do that, you want to drag the jars into the project. OK, so this goes here. And then it'll tell you that there were 5 files added to the sketch. So your libraries are good to use. Let's see. Oh, this goes outside setup, not inside. Whoops. OK. And lastly, we need a Twitter stream object. We can just call it Twitter. Equals a new Twitter stream factory dot get instance. I need a, yeah. OK, cool.
When you drag files into processing, is it linked to the project you're working on or processing the whole?
I think it's linked to the project.
Okay.
I'm not positive on that, but I think it's the project. Oh yeah, and if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask, stop me at any time. I'm not uptight about that. OK, so cool. We have our libraries. We have our Twitter stream object. Let's tell our application to connect to Twitter now. So under setup, let's tell it to connect Twitter. And then let's tell it to twitter.add listener. And listener. Awesome. But we haven't really defined these functions yet. So we need to get these functions. And that's just like a lot of copying and pasting. So if you go on the Facebook page for the event, I already pasted the thing you need to copy and paste. Where is it? Right here. So it's called pastecode.txt. So if you click on that, and then just copy all this, and save that as their own functions, that'll get us all set to start using Twitter, hopefully. Where do you install it?
Twitter 4J, yeah.
So you just unzip the lib folder inside there, and then drag those files into the processing window. And it should tell you that the files were added to the sketch. Am I going too fast? OK. Cool. Could not add lib to sketch. Is the lib folder inside of your project folder? So here, let me show you. So here's my project folder here, and I have the lib folder inside of it with all the jars. That may be why.
Wait, oh, I have something working inside your code folder.
That's just the libraries. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if you have to drag it in or not, but that's the way I've always done it. So maybe you don't. I might just be being redundant.
So there's no place where you're referencing the file.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, do you have to like go in and add, like you're just dragging the lib folder onto the widget?
I was dragging each of the,
Okay,
I drag
that's-
each of the jars.
The error says couldn't add or couldn't add files because lib is a directory.
Okay, yeah, so add the jars themselves.
Okay.
Let's see if that works.
Yeah, that works.
Okay, cool. Sweet. So that's good. We don't need this anymore, and we don't need this. So back to processing. So let's see. I don't need that, and let's make sure that we can like get a random tweet from Twitter. Now that we have all that. So what we're going to do is under the setup, we're just going to do twitter.sample, and that should hopefully grab a random tweet from Twitter, and then we just have to print that out. So let's see, true. And then do I need a yeah. Sorry, I haven't done Java in a while. So we're going to print one of, so we're going to just say the Twitter user status dot get username or get user dot get screen name. And then what they said plus status dot get text. Okay, cool. And hopefully that'll give us something. I didn't define status. Okay, let's status. Yeah, where's status? 1 second. I forgot to. Where did I do that? I think I forgot an instruction in my instructions, so I am lost. Document. Sorry about this. Where did I just status? Oh, okay. Okay, so I think. Wait, we have that. Status. This is a mess. Okay. And then I need an escape for that. So cool. Do you have a suggestion?
I got it. It's now printing out just like a ton of tweets.
You got it? Okay. So I don't know where my status is.
It's in status listening. Or I just put it in on status. I just put a print line in there.
Oh, okay. That would make sense. So yeah, maybe let's move this to on status. Okay. So what this is doing is we're getting a sample from Twitter here. And then down here, this function is printing out Twitter. We should print out one status from Twitter. Because
It's just going to print fun. Because
oh, okay.
yeah, you should move the Boolean outside the public void.
Yeah, I'm not a comp sci, I'm sorry. Cool.
You might do this on Dropbox?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Very good.
Okay. Let's copy you and Dropbox you. Oh, no, that's not the one. Never mind. Oops. There's a PE. This guy. All right. Hopefully, it should be on Dropbox now. Is that working? Okay, so we got a tweet from this guy, and he's speaking some strange language. But anyway, so we know it works. We have this tweet. Wait, let's make sure it works, actually. Let's make sure that this guy actually tweeted that at that time. So let's go on Twitter. And put in his name. Let's see. This guy. Okay, cool. So he speaks that language, at least. Let's see. Okay, so cool, it's working. Let's get started with our data visualization, I guess. So the thing that I thought would be easiest is to like compare the number of tweets between two different like subjects. So right now there's a game between Duke and Notre Dame. So that might be kind of cool to see who's tweeting about that and what they're saying and how the tweets compare for each team. So let's go to let's establish and set up a couple of teams. Actually, this is outside of setup. So let's just say string team1 is the Notre Dame. And then string of team2 will be Duke. Cool. We need a counter. So let's set that as 0. And then we need a counter for team 2 as well. So this counter will just count the number of tweets that include that string. And then lastly, let's associate it with a color. So let's do color. Team 1 color is color of, I don't know. Let's make it red. So I think I can just do 255.0.0. And you can change these however you want. Color, let's say green, 0.255.0. So that means that all of our team 1 things will be red and all of our team 2 things will be green. Cool. So let's create an array for the keywords, and then we'll use Twitter's filter function to find those things. So let's say a string keywords equal to. Let's make it an array. It's probably important. Okay. Team 1 and team 2. Cool. So now Twitter will search for these terms if we give it a filter. Where do I do that?
You might have to.
Do it need to be on status, do you think? All this? Okay. So let's get rid of the sample because we don't need that anymore. Keywords and Twitter.filter. New filter query dot track And then our keywords. Cool. So hopefully that should track our keywords. And then lastly, we want to do status get text dot index of our keywords. Okay. How are we going to do this? Yeah, you're right. You're totally right. Okay. Cool. Let me grab this back. All right. Okay. Sorry. So we're going to go to on status in the status listener. So for each status, we're going to use so like if how does this work? I think I might have missed a page on my notes. So if status.getText.index of team1, sorry, team1 string is not equal to -1. So what this will do is say if the team1 string is within the status, then we should take our team1 counter and add to it, okay? And then let's do also another if statement. Just all of this over again except team2. Team2, then we'll add to our team2 counter. The reason I'm doing both if statements is because a status might have both names in the status. So we don't want to use an else statement there, because otherwise the first team will have an advantage. OK. So we have that. That's good. So now let's make it visual, now that we have our data. So now we're going to use our draw function. Actually, let's start in setup. So setup, we'll set our display size. We'll do size is, come here. And my screen size is like 1360 by 768. So that should be fine. OK. We're going to need an F. Do we have fonts? Equals create font. OK, cool. That works. So we're going to use, I don't know, 48. Cool. So I'm just making a scoreboard right now. So let's say and text font is F. Cool. So that sets the font that we're going to use here. And then lastly, let's set a background. Color 0, 0, 0. So that'll make our background black. Cool.
What is that? What type is it?
It is a P font. So let's go P font F equals new P font. So hopefully that will work for us. And P image image new P. Okay. Cool. Okay. Everyone caught up? Sorry. So we're going to implement images later. So I'm just doing it now. It doesn't have to be there now if you don't want. All good? Okay, cool. So what do we have now? Let's run it and see what we get. So cool, we have a blank black screen. Just we want it. Okay, let's close that. So yeah, let's make 2 jumbotrons with team names in them. So in draw, we're going to want to make some rectangles at the top just to like hold the team names. So we'll do a fill with color. I don't know, like some sort of gray. So this is setting the color that processing is currently using. And then we can use like a, oh, you know what we should do? We should just set our width and height as variables. So I'll do width, height, and int width is equal to 1366. Int height is equal to 768. Cool. Okay, so that'll make it easier for us to scale things later. So yeah, let's make rectangles. We use the rect tool here. And let's do, so I think it's x1, y2, x1, y1, x2, y2 for the coordinates of the rectangle. And that'll draw a rectangle for you. So let's do width times 0, width times, actually it's height times 0.5. And if you're asking where I'm getting these numbers, I just made this earlier and it looked best this way. So you're free to play with it if you want. Times 0.4 and height times 0.1. Cool. And then let's make another one of those, except instead of starting at 0, we're going to start at 0.6 and end at 1. Cool. So let's see what that looks like. Okay, so we now have 2 opposing teams. Oh, you can't really see that. Let me make the color a little bit brighter. 80, 80, 80. Awesome. So we have 2 rectangles here. Let's fill them with text and then make things happen. Okay, so let's do a fill with color and 255, 255, 255. I think there are shortcuts for like white and black and etc., but I don't feel like remembering them, so I didn't remember them. Let's do a text of team 1, and then we need our x and y. So our width times 0.15, height times 0.125, I guess. Okay. Then we need our team 2 text as well. And 0.75. Whoops. Okay, so how does that look? We have, okay, cool. So we have our 2 teams. I know it's a little off center, but what can you do? Okay, back to processing. Is everyone caught up? Am I confusing people with decimals and stuff? Or are we good? Okay, cool. So now that we have that, let's calculate the percentage of the tweets that that Notre Dame receives. So we'll do a double percent is equal to, cast it as a double. Team 1 counter plus team 2 counter. And then here we have to add 1 because there is a case where neither of the teams have any tweets, so we don't want to divide by 0 and have everything explode. Okay, cool. So that should calculate a percentage. Let's print that. Actually, we can't do that yet. We need to get some tweets. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So first, let's make a bar that like shrinks and expands for each percentage. So let's fill. It'll make more sense once I actually do it. Sorry. Team1 color. And we'll make a rectangle. Oops. Integer of width times percent. And lastly, we want a .4. So let's see what that did. So what this is doing is it's creating a rectangle of the color of team 1 across the center. And hopefully it'll be like a certain percentage of the total amount. So right now I'm going to set the percent equal to 0.5 just to make it easier on ourselves, or 0.7, just so we can see that 7% or 70% of the screen should be filled up. So let's see if this works. So cool, yeah. We have Notre Dame has 70% of the tweets according to our program right now. Okay, I'm going to delete this percent equals 7. And now let's have the other one, which is the T2 color. What am I doing? So I'm just going to copy all this and paste it again. Fill team 2 color. And that's going to be, instead of this, we're going to start at integer of width times percent. So we're creating two rectangles, right? So the first one's going to be the first team's percentage, and the second one's going to be the second team's percentage. Height is 25. And then this is going to be the entire width here. Okay, cool. So let's see what that looks like. Okay, it's working. Okay. So as you can see, we have our different percentages are updating the amount of space this bar is taking up on the screen. Okay, cool. So we have a working app, hooray. Let's show the numerical percentage that is being displayed. So let's do fill of team 1. Actually, let's do the other color. So let team 2 color. And then text. Go back to string. Sorry, there's like a lot of casting going on here, so just bear with me. Float percent times 100. Oops, this. Thousand divided by double. Okay, so that is our percentage plus our percent sign. And then we have to tell it where to put this. So maybe let's do an int, oops, casted int of percent times width divided by 2.5. And again, all these numbers that I'm using are just what I thought looks best. And they're not precise or anything. Int of height times 0.47. OK. I know you can't see all of this, so let's. Anyway, let's copy that and do it for team 1. No, that's not the right color. So this will be the opposite percentage, right? So we're going to do 100 minus that. And then our width is going to be changed. It's going to be width minus of 1 minus percent. Times our width divided by 1.9. I have no idea why this works, but it does. Cast that to an int. OK. And then our height should be the same. All right, so let's look at what that did. And I'll put this on the Dropbox because I know it's hard to follow. But yeah, we have our percentages now of each team and how many tweets they've been receiving, which is pretty cool. So yeah, that's pretty much done with that. So I'll save this and put it on the drive real quick. Sorry for the delay. Paste and replace. Cool. OK, so that should be updated. And now, if we look at it, it looks nice. It's cool. It's Christmas colors, apparently. But it's a little boring at the bottom. So let's add, like, I don't know, let's add the user pictures of the users who are tweeting. And we'll just put them randomly in the bottom, just to see some cool visualization of like how many tweets have actually been received. So we can get our user picture using like one line, I think. So we'll stay in draw. We're going to create another line, status.getUser.get mini profile image URL. I think we want this there, right? And then we use load image.
Well, you have to put this in on status again.
Maybe. Did I?
Yeah, you have counter and you have like image.
So it's done here? OK. Cool. So let's grab this. Sorry. OK, so let's load it. Let's say our image is equal to, actually, image of load image of status.getUser.get user profile. Actually, get mini profile image URL. And cool. Oh, OK, I see. Gotcha. Sorry, I'm not very organized today. So for each of these, let's separate the images that we receive. So we'll do that, get mini profile image URL, and then we want to set our width and height. So hopefully my image, okay, so we've loaded that, and now we need our width is, and let's just put it randomly. So random width times 0.45, and then we'll have a minus random 4. Cool. So all of this code, this mess of code, should hopefully output an image at the bottom. So let's do the same thing for team 2, except we'll change where the image is put. So we can say, oh, this user tweeted from this side, and this user tweeted from this side. So it's sort of like a little war of tweets. So let's change our width, or yeah. So we'll do this is width minus that. And with any luck, no, okay. Okay, I need to close this function and this function. Now with any luck, we will get our pictures at the bottom. And that's the gist of it. So yeah, you can see like the users who are tweeting these tweets and the percentage of tweets, like total tweets. And yeah, the idea is that you can do a lot of cool things using this, using Twitter and using the Twitter4j library and using processing. Processing has a lot of cool, like already like existing examples that you can look at. So I'll just let this run in the background, and I'll open up the examples. So if you guys are ever like curious about some of the cool things that you can do in processing, you can like look at maybe some of the motion, brownie motion, sure. So we can just like watch some of the cool things that you can do in processing. So yeah, anyway, and of course you can like change the strings you look at to any strings. So I think in my example, I chose peanut butter and jelly. Jelly. And then hopefully it should work the same way. It's just like this time it's searching for peanut butter and jelly instead of Duke and Notre Dame. Can we get some tweets, please? Oh, we have a couple of jellies. No peanut butter yet. But yeah, of course, like more controversial topics are better visualizations because they're more interesting. Yeah. Anyway, that's my workshop. Any questions? Is anyone like desperately lost?
I got a question. Where is the good place to learn like snippets of visualization? So like where do you get I'm sure you took some other places. Where is the place for that?
As far as like just making this, or I just thought of it. Like I didn't take it from anywhere. But if you want like ideas, there's a good like subreddit. It's called Data is Beautiful, and that they have like a lot of really cool like examples that you could look at. As far as like actually making them, I don't know.
And the other question I had for you was, have you tried at all to put processing code on the web? Like I've tried playing around with it, and like I was like give you a pop-up browser asking you to download like certain Java and systems. I don't know if you.
Yeah, I haven't messed around with it too much. I'm pretty new to web development, but yeah, that's